When Legendary Tactics has a Twilight Imperium question, they bring Gastel onto the channel. So today, Gastel, thanks for joining us. He's been working really hard since he put his top 10 strategy video out with us, and he's got 3 major upgrades for the game. The coolest upgrade of all, though, is his very last one, which...
Again, you're trying to give away the secrets. Let them wait. They're patient. They'll enjoy it.
All right, well, at least I can see what's off screen over here, and it is a boss. This is Legendary Tactics. Okay, Gastel, well, thank you for joining us. Now, I've got the 3rd edition here because this is what I have in my house, but you're actually talking about the 4th edition.
I am talking about the 4th edition, although I will say the prints are probably compatible with both, or at least the philosophy is compatible with both.
Well, that's good. Now, what's your goal here? Why did you set out, you've got a 3D printer, and you've decided you want to improve your game. What is it you wanted to improve?
Well, that's a great question. I started off by just wanting to upgrade the components I already had. But then as I started to look around the internet, I realized there was actually some things that could improve the game experience itself that weren't included in the core box.
I didn't know that was possible with this game.
Yeah, no, wait till number 2. Number 2 is quite good.
Okay.
But what I started with was what probably a lot of people start with, and that's trying to organize this game. It's got so many components, you want to organize it.
It's the worst if you get to the game of Twilight Imperium and everything's a mess and nobody has a sorted group of components, and you know, you don't want to take forever getting into the game.
That's right, that's right. And so I started with these trays, and I'll put this here. This was actually a tray that I printed out, and I really liked it, but I actually didn't end up using this for my copy of the game. Ooh. And this is what was great about 3D printing. I could prototype something. Now this will become a thing for my, you know, paper clips and stuff like that. It won't go to waste, but it's not going to be my Twilight Imperium because...
What was wrong with it?
Well, let me show you. This is the actual one that I'm using, and if you look, the thickness is a little bit thicker for this one, so the War Suns can be fully assembled.
Fully immersed. Oh, so you don't have to deconstruct.
You don't have to take them into 2 pieces, sort of thing.
That's important.
What also is great about this is this has the names inside, if you see. So it says like Dreadnought 5 in there. I don't know if that shows up on camera, but it says Dreadnought 5 right in there. And now, as you said, somebody at the end of the game who's organizing it, they know exactly where to put the dreadnoughts.
That's right. So you're not left cleaning up this ridiculous table for 2 hours. Everybody can say, okay, this is exactly where all the pieces go, nice and easy.
That's right.
We know how you like it, yes. And now, the only problem I'm seeing is if you tip the game, are things not going to fall out? Or did you think of that as well?
I have thought about that, but what I've decided is my Twilight Imperium 4th edition is going to become a home game now. It's not going to travel very far. And so I've decided not to worry about this, but I did think about printing a cover, but I decided in the end I didn't actually need that.
Well, and can you stack them? Does that
well, this is the blue one for this design, and as you can see, they can stack and they don't shake, sort of thing. So the idea is I'll put 4 and 4. So I'll put 4 in one pile.
Nice.
And then I have the other 4 here.
So this fits inside the 4 box. The 3 box is a little thinner, longer profile, but 4th edition is that tall?
Yes, it'll fit this. Brilliant. And I think it fits like this. I actually haven't tested it fully, so it might have to have a little fiddling, but this was designed by someone for the game, so I'm going to trust that they got it.
Now, the only problem is I'm trying to get these cards out. How do you have to solve for that?
Well, these, there is a nice little finger hold for the cards, and not on this print, but I've seen, not on this print, but I've seen on some of the other prints, they've actually curved the bottom as well to make, you know, scooping out pieces a little bit easier.
Oh, wow, okay.
Now, this is, I believe, a 3rd edition print, or at least a 4th edition before Prophecy of Kings, because it didn't have any space for the mechs, but it has this big space just for one ship. So
Brilliant.
I just threw those in there. And if you look, the War Suns fit in. Unfortunately, I thought the War Suns would fit standing up, but they only fit lying down.
Too pointy.
But, you know, that's okay.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're complaining about that, then come to the wrong table.
That's right. This is first world problems.
Brilliant. So people are going to have to come to your house to play this game with you, though. This is not a traveling copy.
I don't think it'll be a traveling copy.
Do you have a traveling copy?
Yours.
Yes, okay, perfect. We have to play 3rd edition then if we're traveling.
That's okay. They're great games.
Well, thank you. So this is our storage solution that fixes how we put the game in the box.
Yes, but it's not all of the storage solution. I haven't finished printing the rest, but there's containers for the sector tiles. There's containers for the strategy cards. Everything has its own little container.
Now, I'm pretty new to 3D printing. How long does it take to print one of these?
One of these took about 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this was 2 or 3 days of constant printing.
This is an overnight kind of...
Lots of overnight prints. That's how often it goes. Unfortunately, my 3D printer is in the room beside my bedroom, so every once in a while I wake up to...
It's your noise machine.
It's a little noisy, but anyways.
It's for a worthy cause, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have to lose a little sleep, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Board gaming, it's worth it.
Brilliant. Okay, so now we have a second upgrade, and this one actually improves the functionality of the game, or the mechanisms, would you say, or just, how would you describe it?
Well, one of the things when you're playing a big game is you're sitting down there, I'm sitting over here. We're not sitting near each other. I can't look easily at your stuff and see what you've got.
Cards flat on the table with some text on it.
Cards flat on the table. And, you know, there's always the question, you know, who's got diplomacy, who's got war, who's got tack, you know, have you already done tack, things like that. Because rounds are long. So what we've got is this. And this was just phenomenal. So it's a tower that you put at one end of the table, and you put it in the order of color. I've done this in nice rainbow order, but you know, if the red player took leadership, you would put them with the leadership on top. If you're only playing with 4 players, you would, you know, pick their 4 colors, and you would put them in the order of their initiative with their strategy card listed here. And what's nice about that is now when I'm looking around, I know that the war guy is, you know, purple, so I can be careful about purple, or I could be negotiating with him for a turn to make sure he's using war somewhere away from me. But it has another feature. Could you hand me one of those guys?
I thought L ship stood for your ships, which are all Lil ships. No? I'll hand you the next thing.
That joke was real ship.
So now the problem is, from round to round, each of these is going to change.
Right, and so what they do is they come out. So the person is used, I'm just going to use leadership because it's on top, but say once this player has used leadership, this comes out and it gets replaced with a black one. And now you're very quickly you can see what strategies are still remaining in the round and what strategies are already finished.
Right. So this means it's been used. If it's black, it's been used.
That's right. Well, or you could come up with any convention, but that's the convention that I came up with.
Oh, that's cool.
And then in the next round, when people pick their new strategies, this tower is easily rearranged.
Is there any kind of sequence that matters here? Is it player order or?
Well, remember the strategy cards give you initiative order, so I put these in initiative order from top to bottom.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and then that's great too, because then you can say, okay, red, it's your turn. Orange, you're on deck. Get ready for your turn.
So it actually helps the flow of the game.
I think it does.
Yeah.
I think it does. I haven't been able to try this out yet, so you're going to have to come over and play it.
Well, one of my wishes for this year is to play a full game of this. So the other Legendary Tactics lads have not actually played this game yet, and I mock them mercilessly every year for it.
As you should.
Yes. So we need to get that one done.
Very good. Very good.
Now, they've been waiting patiently. They've watched all this way through. And by the way, like, subscribe. If you really appreciate Gastel, as I do, please encourage this video so that we'll get him back. We'll probably have him back anyways, but your support's really appreciated.
Perfect. If you could move that off to the side, I'll bring this guy on. Now,
okay, this is huge.
What happens is the end of the game comes, and somebody wins the game. Well, what you need
Glorious.
is a trophy with a giant war sun on it.
You really do.
And what's nice about this is it's got a space, it's got two little spaces here, and I've even got a little plate that I can glue onto this. But those spaces allow you to put anything you want. I think they want you to put the date and the person's name, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the person's name and then what faction they played to win. So I don't know if you remember, but my copy of Twilight Imperium, I always get people to sign the box when they play, which was actually something we came up with Pandemic
Legacy Season 1.
That's right. And I do that with all of my large games now.
So cool.
This is a way of maybe recording who won the game in a little more glorious fashion. And actually, I think it encourages people maybe to come back and vie for the trophy the next game, sort of thing.
What happens if the trophy says Gastel, Gastel, Gastel? Then people stop coming because it'd be like, he just made this trophy for himself.
Or
Are you worried about that?
Or I have the 3D printer and I can print whatever I want on it.
That's true. I'm not actually worried about Gastel winning every single game. We'll make sure that doesn't happen. Don't you worry.
It doesn't happen already, so we're safe there.
Yep. Okay, so I don't think we're concerned about you winning every time, but if you do, it'll probably be with the Sardak Nor.
It will not be with the Sardak Nor. But what I love about the 3D printer is I can add organization, I can add to the game with an initiative tracker, I can encourage people to try their best with this beautiful trophy.
If you want to see more videos of 3D printing with Gastel, let us know in the comments. And in the meantime, get out there,
get gaming,
and be legendary.